All right, good evening, everybody. It is Big Joe here on Last Call Sports on a Monday night, the 28th of July. Yes, we're almost in August already. We have some baseball going on right now. The Yankees went down earlier, 4-2 to the Rays. Another bad outing for them. All they could produce was got two runs off of two bases loaded walks. The rest of the game, they were non existent. Of course, we can't expect much with Aaron Judge being out. Right now, the Mets are 1-1, end of the fourth against San Diego, and we'll see what happens there. It looks like they got a early run with McNeil getting on base, and then it looks like Beatty drove him in. So we have that to get to, but we want to get back to the Yankees here, who are going to be without Aaron Boone for the next, or not Aaron Boone, Aaron Judge for the next 10 days. And, it was falling apart earlier this week. And I really, I had to laugh because we had people on local sports talk radio that were twisting themselves into pretzels trying to blame Cashman and Boone, but yet be fair to them in a way where if they do happen to make the right moves in the next, week, they can say, well, we always had faith in these guys. But really, if you look at it, the problem with the Yankees this year and for the last few years, it has been the way the team has been put together, and it's the way they come and play the game. They're fundamentally bad. They're a home run or bust team. They either get an outstanding pitching performance and waste it. Every once in a while, they'll make it happen. But the fact of the matter is, if they don't hit home runs, if the ball stays in the park and they're playing a close game, these guys don't know how to make it happen. And I hate to say it, everybody says I'm tough on them, but that lands right here on our man, Aaron Boone. How can you watch the Yankees year after year, time after time, in games, base running mistakes, errors, not covering first base, simple things like that should be addressed in spring training and should be addressed after the game when they don't do the right things. Instead, Aaron Boone, who I wish he was like that with his players instead of just doing that in front of umpires, because it's nice that he is a nice guy. Everybody likes a nice guy. Everybody seems to like him. But to me, he's the head counselor at Camp Cashman. He's not the manager of the Yankees. He is like a counselor at camp who wants to give everybody a trophy, a ribbon, no matter how badly they have been playing. And he is part of the problem. I'm going to say, I am the first to criticize Cashman, and I think it all starts with him. This team was designed badly. There was an announcer, I forget her name. She does WFAN a few years ago, and she was talking about the Mets at the time before Steve Cohen took over, and she called the Mets the New York Ifs. And that's what the Yankees have become under Brian Cashman, the way he likes to do business over the last few years. If Peraza had worked out, if the Martian turns out, the Dominguez turned out to be the left fielder of the future, if this guy works out, if that guy works out, well, then they'll do well. But the fact of the matter is, the things he goes out and tries to make happen do not seem to come through. And also, look. I'm going to get into. I don't want to get tied up my Cashman. I get enough trouble with my friends who are Yankee fans, because I'm too critical of Mr. Cashman, who inherited a great infrastructure, and after 27 years, still waiting to see if outside of Aaron Judge, these minor league superstars that he claims are coming up through the system will turn out to be great Yankees. So far, the only longtime Yankees he's produced in his farm system in 27 years is Brett Gardner, who's a nice player, not a great player, and Aaron Judge, who might go down as one of the greatest Yankees of all time. So I got to give him credit for that. But so far, Anthony Volpe has not been anything to be jumping up and down about. Yeah, he got 1 Gold Glove, but I'm sorry, he's not Bobby Witt. He's not going to be Bobby Witt. And at a time right now when you have all these talented shortstops around baseball, he doesn't look like he's going to be one of them. When Jeter, I'm not even going to get into Jeter. That's unfair. But Volpe was supposed to be a guy who was supposed to be a superstar, not just a solid player who can be the Yankees shortstop for the next 10 years. He was supposed to be a superstar. I don't know. I don't think he's ever going to recover from it. And I think that right now he's becoming more and more of a head case. And Mr. Aaron Boone keeps coddling him. You now have another option, Rosario, who can come in and give him a couple of days off. Why are they afraid to have Volpe sit down? Is it like they're admitting they're wrong and they can't do that? Is that the problem? I'm going to pull up another quote from a few weeks ago that really shows what is the problem with the Yankees. And it's a quote from Keith McPherson. The culture they developed with these Yankees is soft. We're these guys are not fighting. They fostered a mentality, we're the Yankees, we're good. And they're not. And that comes from him telling him after the debacle of a couple weeks ago when they got swept that they're the best team in baseball. They're not right now. They're nowhere near it. And if they're going to recover, I don't care. You can make 1,000 moves. But this team has nobody on it that seems to be able to take the lead and say just showing up isn't good enough. There are expectations in the Bronx. And I've never been a George Steinbrenner guy. Okay. I think his effect on the Yankees was totally overblown. Someday I'll do a whole show on what I think happened to the Yankees, because the first time I ever went to Yankee Stadium, the monuments were still on the field. And it was during the Horace Clarke era, which I think should have been called the Mel Stottlemyre era, because he was in Bobby Mercer era, because Horace was never a star. And he seemed to get nailed for that whole era when he didn't deserve it. So I saw the Yankees, even though I'm a Met fan, I became a Met fan, but this is at a time when I could have gone either way. And unfortunately, whatever you want to say it, the Yankees won first. My father was a Red Sox fan, My older brother was a Yankee fan, and I wanted something different. And the Mets won in '69, and I jumped on their bandwagon. And believe me, that's been a roller coaster. Another long show I'll explain someday. But right now for the Yankees, all I hear is all these possible trades. Get this guy, get that guy. Fine. Bring somebody in. Put them out there. But just patching a new name into the lineup is not changing the way these guys play the game. It's not changing their attitudes. They come to the park with seemingly a wrong attitude. There seems to be no leadership on this team, no accountability, no expectations. That's what the Yankees from 1995 until 2009 were all about: expectations and living up to those expectations. This Yankee team seems to be just happy to be here, just happy to be playing in the Bronx, just happy to be putting on those pinstripes, and not much more. They don't seem to want to win enough. And Boone can tell me all he wants in these press conferences, how much they want stuff, how much they need to win, how much they put in the time. They're doing something wrong, because this is not a short sample size. The same things that go wrong every night for this team and makes them lose happen all the time. Bang home runs, you win. Don't bang home runs, it's a 50-50 jump ball. And for the most part, they lose those games. So this is Joe Ryan, Last Call Sports. I'll be back tomorrow night. We'll recap what the Mets did tonight, and we'll see if the Yankees can get back on a winning track and start playing like the team they like to say they are. Thanks for tuning in. See you soon.